Good day, my name is Tim Sutherland, and today we'll be doing a case study on foreign business practices. Specifically, I used the case study I found on page 586 of the Arnold, Beauchamp, and Bowie's book, Ethical Theory in Business. This case study is about the Gelitex Incorporated, which is a multinational communications company. If you'd like to follow along with the slides with me, it may help a little bit. The problem is that Gelitex Incorporated is operating ethically stateside, but when it comes to its multinational business practices, they're having some issues. They're being forced to give kickbacks, bribes, and practice nepotism in exchange for getting contracts, keeping the lights on, and getting favorable findings in court cases. Generally, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which was enacted in 1977, generally prohibits the payment to foreign businesses and their representatives. Now, note this word generally, because the policy does outlaw bribes, but it makes arrangements for companies to make facilitation or grease payments. It's all in the verbiage. It's all the same thing. They're bribes. So when this happens, what are some of the possible options? Well, Beauchamp tells us we have 4 options, so we're going to explore each one of these. Option 1 tells us we need to follow the norms of the host or the home country, which is the most patriotic, most legal thing to do. So using a theistic view, this is by far the hardest thing to do and the least profitable for the company. But if Gelitex believes in ethical relativism, then this is really not an option for him anyway. Ethical relativism holds that whatever a country says is right or wrong for a country is actually right or wrong for that country. If that's the case, well, then maybe we need to look at option 2. So option 2 says to follow the norms of the host country. That's what we just discussed, right? This is obviously going to be more profitable than option 1, depending on the size of the bribes, etc. And it may also appeal to a naturalist view. Sire tells us that naturalists can often live side by side in communal harmony on ethical matters. Values are constructed by human beings, and no natural law is inscribed in the cosmos. Basically, ethics is autonomous and situational. So basically, they can follow the host nation without any problems. But this also matches a somewhat nihilistic view, which would bring us to option 3. Option 3 says to follow whichever norm is the most profitable. Obviously, this is the most profitable. Nihilism is the belief that all values are baseless and nothing can be known or communicated. So if they cast all their ethics aside, they can obviously make a lot more money. But at what cost? Who wants to do business with an unethical company? So then we have option 4, follow whichever norm is morally best. Again, this is kind of situational and may not, or like option 1, may not be that profitable. It could be a Kantian view of doing business. This is sort of a balance between clinging to the corporation's values and clinging to the profits and making sure the profit and shareholders are all happy. However, again, using this option puts the corporate values into question. And again, who wants to do business with an unethical company? So which one should we choose? From a theistic view, which is what I have, the only real option is option 1. Gelitex needs to return to their code of ethics and then see if the host nations want to keep doing business with them. They need to let go of those that were hired and stop paying bribes. But is this really realistic? I have been overseas and I've had to deal with some of these greasing options. In Turkey, there was no way to get your car registered without paying an agent, if you will, to go down and do it for you. You personally could not do it. You had to have an agent. In Qatar, we had to purchase all of our communications, fiber and wires, etc., from a certain company in order to get to use the satellite for our telecommunications. Of course, the other company was owned by the brother-in-law. But we had no choice. We were going to war. We had to have it. Gelitex has other motivations. They are out for profit. So really their only option is to do number 1 and accept what happens. Can they measure the results? Measure them real easy. Just look at the bottom line. How much money did we lose by not doing business with these guys versus how much did we gain by not paying the bribes, etc. There's going to be a downward trend initially, but I think eventually it'll be okay. So again, in conclusion, using the theistic view, Gelitex's only option is option 1. Accept the lower profits and press on. Thank you.